Good evening. Today we are going to discuss about family of salts. No, salts are constituted with salts are constituted with a cation and an anion. Cation and anion. With cations and anions, you take this one. So generally cation saying comes under the metallic, generally metallic. Here anions generally non-metallic. So based on the metallic, we can call the family of salts, and based on the non-metallic, we can call the family of salts. Say for example, sodium salt, sodium family, sodium family, for example, and the sodium family, all salts consisted with sodium is common, the anion is different. Anion is different. Say for example, sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, sodium carbonate, sodium nitrate. So like this, we can find sodium is a common, sodium bromide, sodium iodide. So these are called sodium family. In sodium family, sodium is common in all salts. Same thing, you can go to the non-metallic salts. Say for example, chloride family, chloride family. In chloride family, all salts contains chloride is common. The cation is different, but anion is only chloride. They are called chloride family. So for example, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and we can say aluminum chloride, ammonium chloride. So like this you can find in all salts you find chloride is common. So they are called chloride family. In chloride family, chloride is common. In sodium family, sodium is common. So we can name the salts families based on either a cation or anion. Based on cation or anion. So for example, potassium family. Potassium family. So what is the potassium family? Potassium chloride, potassium nitrate, potassium sulfate, and so on, like this. All these are potassium. So here is a sulfate family. See the sulfate family. Sulfate family, can write sodium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium sulfate, barium sulfate, potassium sulfate. Like this, all these salts commonly they contain sulfate, so they are called sulfate family. So like this, based upon the anions or based upon the cations, we are naming the families of the compounds. So the salts are classified based on either cations or anions. Now let us see pH of the salts. So write the formula, means you know already there are so many compound salts. We wrote the family: sodium NaCl, KCl, CaCl2, magnesium chloride, MgCl2, AlCl3, like all these chloride salts. Sulfate, sodium salt, sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, sodium carbonate, sodium nitrate, sodium bromide, sodium iodide. Like here, sodium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium sulfate, barium sulfate, like the sodiums, potassium sulfate, and so on. So like this you can write so many salts, their formulas. So here in this case, generally in all salts you find cation. Here is cation is the left hand side. Where is the cation? Left hand side of the formula. Left hand side of the formula. Anions present right hand side of the formula. Right hand side of formula. See this one, this is the formula, this is cation, this is anion. In this formula, this is cation, this is anion, like this. We suppose this cation, this is, suppose in some cases you find anion is the left side, cation is the right. Say for example, sodium acetate. There we are writing CH3COO Na. So here Na is the cation, cation is the right side. This is some example. Mostly you can find cation is the left hand side in the formula, anion is the right side in the formula of the compound. That is a common. You can always remember this. Next, pH of the salts. So generally, one minute. Now let us see this family of salts. Next topic is the pH of salts. pH of salts. pH of salts. So the salts again are divided into acidic salts. Next one is the basic salts, neutral salts. So in acidic salts, pH is less than 7. In basic salts, pH is greater than 7. Neutral salts, pH is equal to 7 is common. So this gradation we can find out, we can observe by using universal indicator. Can be observed with universal indicator. Universal indicator. Universal, you know already, universal indicator is a mixture of different indicators like a methyl orange, methyl blue, thiamal red, phenolphthalein. Okay, like this different synthetic indicators are mixed in different proportion. So that mixing component is called universal indicator that gives colors for different substances based on the pH. Approximately we can identify based on the color the pH of the salt solutions. So acidic salts generally pH is less than 7, basic salts 7, more than 7, neutral salts is 7. Now second point, in acidic salts the color is the red color, strong acids, and greenish yellow color, weak acids, green color, neutral, and olive green color, weak base, blackish green or greenish black is a greenish black or greenish blue color. So that is a basic salt, strong bases. Like this we can identify the strong acids, weak acids, neutral solutions, and neutral salts, that you can say neutral salts, and weak bases, strong bases. So these also can be identified based upon the salts generating compounds. See, for example, strong acid plus weak base. Acid is strong, base is weaker, then it is the acidic salt. Then it is the acid salt. Understanding? Strong acid, weak base, acidic salts. Basic salts, strong base plus weak acid. The salt is called basic salt. If there is a strong acid react with a strong base, both are strong, then the salt is called neutral salts. Okay, so acidic salts produced by the reaction of strong acid with weak base, producing salt is a acidic salt. Strong base with weak acid is a basic salt. It is a basic salt. Strong acid with strong base is a neutral salt. This is a neutral salt. Suppose here is a weak acid, weak base. If both are weak and weak base, there we can find the relative strength to determine the acid base. So to avoid the confusion, we are using the colors by using universal indicator. Say for example, hydrochloric acid is strong acid, react with the weak base. Say for example, weak base, magnesium hydroxide. So what is the salt? Is the magnesium chloride. So magnesium chloride plus water. So magnesium chloride is a acidic salt. Magnesium chloride is a acidic salt. Like sulfuric acid react with ammonium hydroxide. You find ammonium hydroxide produces ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate is a acidic salt. Like that you can determine the whether it is a acidic salt or basic. Now here you find the strong base. Sodium hydroxide is strong base. React with weak acid, H2CO3, carbonic acid, produces sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is a basic salt. Sodium carbonate is a basic salt. Say for example, potassium hydroxide react with the weak acid. For example, acetic acid produces potassium acetate. Potassium acetate. So it is potassium acetate is a basic salt. Okay. So like this you can find the strong base react with weak base. The salt is a basic salt. Strong acid with a weak base is a, you can find with a acidic salt. Now strong acid, strong base. Let us see. Strong acid, strong base. HCl is a strong. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base. Produces sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is a neutral. Sodium chloride is a neutral. So that's why in seawater you find greater percentage of sodium chloride and minor percentage of so many other salts are present. So major percentage sodium chloride. That's why the sodium chloride is taken as a neutral. It is used in many medicine salts because of it is a neutral state. So like this you can find this acidic salt, basic salt, neutral salts. If there is a weak acid, weak base, weak acid react with a weak base. So the salt is either acidic or basic. The salt is either acidic or basic based on relative strength. So say for example, CH3COOH, acetic acid, is a weak acid. Weak base, ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. Producing salt is ammonium acetate. So in ammonium acetate is a salt, acidic or basic, you find it is generally a basic salt. So relatively ammonia and acetate here, ammonia is slightly more basic than acetate. So therefore calling is a basic salts. Okay. So like this you can define this one, the acidic or basic or neutral salts based upon the pH value. Now here what is the pH value for the salts? For these salts is a acidic salts. In acidic salts, acid is strong. So salts have pH is less than 7. So for these salts are basic salts. Sodium carbonate, potassium acetate. So these you find the pH is greater than 7. Now here is a neutral salts. Here pH is equal to 7. So like that you find the universal indicators. These are giving the red color. And these are giving the green or black, and they are giving the green color. Here is the bases are the olive green or black. These are red or yellowish. Like this we can identify the acidic salts, basic salts and neutral salts based upon the components from which the salt is produced. So based upon this component, which are the components? Acid and base. So based on the strength of the acid and base, we can determine the acidic basic nature of the salt. This we can find out. Now next one. So what do you say about salt of both weak acid and weak base? So when it is a weak acid, weak base salt, the salt is either acidic or basic based on the relative strength of the component. So relative strength means among this weak acid and weak base, which is more strong. Suppose weak acid is more stronger in relative to the weak base, then the salt is acidic, slightly acidic. If the weak base is relatively more strong than the weak acid, now the salt is called relatively basic salt. So based on the relative strength, we can relative strength of this weak acid and weak base. Relative strength of what? Relative strength of weak acid and weak base. We can say that is a acidic salt or basic salt, that you can determine. Okay, now let us go to this another concept. chemicals from common salt. This common salt is a chemical known as sodium chloride, also called rock salt, also known as table salt. These are different names. So why it is called rock salt? Because in billions of years ago there was a ocean, and the ocean in time being that is dried up, then converts salt. The salt is submerged. The salt is submerged in the earth layers, then forming like a rocks. So that is called the rock salt. So the rock salts may be different. So blackish color, sometimes brownish or purple color, depends upon the impurities present in the salt. But generally, table salt means we are using in our kitchen room for tasting the food materials. That's why it is called table salt. So it is generally known as common salt. The formula is sodium chloride NaCl. This is the formula. So from this sodium chloride, we are able to prepare different kinds of chemical compounds, such as sodium hydroxide we can prepare, sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium carbonate, and calcium oxychloride, and so many are there. So in our syllabus we are using only these compounds. What are those? Sodium hydroxide, sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium carbonate, and another one is the calcium oxychloride. This is called bleaching powder. Bleaching powder we are making, and many more. So let us see the one by one. First one is sodium hydroxide, common salt. So we are preparing sodium hydroxide from common salt. Sodium hydroxide is called caustic soda. So from this caustic soda prepared from sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide from sodium chloride. Let us see how do you prepare. So for this we are using the brine solution. Brine solution means saturated sodium chloride solution. We are dissolving sodium chloride in distilled water, gram after gram, up to some extent. At a point the salt doesn't dissolve in the water, it is called saturated salt. That saturated salt solution is called brine solution. So we are using brine solution to prepare sodium hydroxide through electrolytic process. We are using the process called by electrolytic process. Electrolytic process. So under this you find there is a Nelson cell method is also there, but I'll give some example here. Here this is called porous vessel. Means there are some pores are there. This vessel is filled with the brine solution. Filled with the brine solution, and it is placed in a rectangular tank, and at the base of the tank one opening is there to supply the steam, water steam. Steam is using water steam, and at the base of the porous vessel there is a collecting vessel is there to collect the sodium hydroxide. Now here there is one graphite rod is present, and the porous vessel itself is acting as a cathode. This is the anode and this is the cathode. First is cathode, it is the anode. Okay. So when we supply the air, now here there is one opening to the outside. Here also there is one opening to the outside. This is the process. Now in the first we are taking the sodium chloride brine solution. Brine solution. So this brine solution breaks into sodium ions and chloride ions first of all. When we supply the current, what happens? Sodium ions move towards the cathode, chloride ions they move towards the anode. These are moving towards the cathode, they are moving towards the anode. At the cathode, what happens? Sodium ions react with the steam. Steam is the water molecules. Steam convert into sodium hydroxide and liberate hydrogen ions. These hydrogen ions, they get electrons converted into hydrogen gas. So at the cathode you find what are there? Sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, hydrogen. Hydrogen is liberating here at the cathode, and sodium hydroxide collected at the base of the cathode. Now at the anode, you find at the anode, chloride ions are collected. These chloride ions, they lose electrons, they convert into chlorine gas. So chlorine gas is a byproduct here. Chlorine gas is a byproduct. So understand here? So here is the three compounds you are getting. So when we electrolyze the brine solution, that is called saturated sodium chloride solution, when subjected to electric charge, it breaks into sodium ions, chloride ions. Sodium ions migrate to the cathode, chloride ions migrate to the anode. So at the cathode, sodium ions react with the steam, convert to sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas liberating at the anode, at the cathode, and sodium hydroxide collected at the base of the cathode. At the anode you find chloride ions convert to chlorine gas liberating is a byproduct. It is the byproduct. So this is called electrolytic process. So we are preparing sodium hydroxide, that is caustic soda, from sodium chloride by electrolytic process. Suppose so you are understanding this one. So here the reaction is an overall reaction. Sodium chloride plus water gives rise sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas plus chlorine gas. These are the two gases. This is the aqueous and this is at the cathode and this is at the anode product. So balance the equation, hydrogen chlorine. Okay, this is the balancing the equation. Here is called aqueous balance, is a liquid, so you can get the answers. So what is answer? Chlorine gas is given off at the anode, hydrogen gas at the cathode, and sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode, and three products produced in this process. Understanding? Sodium hydroxide liquid collected at the cathode, hydrogen gas liberating at the cathode, chlorine gas byproduct liberating at the anode. So these are the three important. Now next one is the bleaching powder. Let us see. So from the common salt we are preparing one sodium hydroxide. Is the caustic soda. Next, bleaching powder CaOCl2 is called bleaching powder. Next, sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking soda. Sodium carbonate is called washing soda. Washing soda. Okay. So these are the important salts. So let us see their significance. Let us see their significance. Now first one is caustic soda preparation over. Now go to the second one is the bleaching powder. How do you get the bleaching powder? By counter current process. So here we are taking this Lakert lime. Here there is a tower is present. So from this tower there is some rotator is there. We are supplying the calcium hydroxide. This is called Lakert lime. Calcium hydroxide. Here there are different processes are there. And we say grinding machines are there. Grinding machines. Like this process. What happens? This Lakert lime supplied from the top of the tower. At the same time, we are supplying the chlorine gas which is obtained in the above process. So while we are preparing the sodium hydroxide, we got chlorine gas is a byproduct. So that chlorine gas obtained in the electrolytic process of brine solution, that is sodium chloride, supplied at the bottom, released at the bottom of the tower. Now the chlorine gas moving up and calcium moving down. So there is a counter current. So therefore calcium hydroxide is called Lakert lime, react with the chlorine gas, converted into calcium oxychloride and water. This calcium oxychloride is called bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Okay. Calcium oxychloride bleaching powder. So where we are using the bleaching powder and where we are using the caustic soda. So we are using the caustic soda to prepare many chemicals like a sodium acetate salt, and so many sodium salts we are preparing by using the caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide also used in the soap industry, and it is used in the plastic industry, and also it is used in the preparation of the sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate. There also you can prepare this one, caustic soda. Now bleaching powder, where we are using the bleaching powder? We are using bleaching powder to bleach the cotton in the textile industry. Okay. Second one, to bleach the wood pulp in a paper industry. The bamboo or some soft wood is grind into paste like mass. The paste is called wood pulp. The wood pulp is bleached with the bleaching powder. Second one is the bleaching powder is oxidizing agent. It is used in many chemical industries. The oxidizing agent. Bleaching powder is oxidizing agent. It is used to prepare as a bleaching agent. It is used as a oxidizing agent. Second, it is a disinfectant. So it can be used to kill the bacteria, and for sanitation we are using the bleaching powder. So it also used in preparation of the chloroform. So to prepare the chloroform we are using this bleaching powder. Okay, so these are the importance of the bleaching powder. What is it? Bleaching powder used for bleaching the cotton in the textile industry, used to bleach the wood pulp in paper industry, and it is used as the oxidizing agent in chemical industry. It is used to prepare the chloroform and also making for pre-germs, means to kill the bacteria. When we are using this, means to disinfecting the drinking water. Disinfecting drinking is sometimes these municipal corporations, they are mixing the powder in water, supply to the houses. These are the important things you must keep in mind. This is our mind. Okay, thank you.